All right, today we're going to be looking at Discord Kitten's comment in the Discord. She is saying she needs a solid Warzone build. She's been playing Black Ops 6 multiplayer, and that's very run and gun for her and fast paced. So the build that she has is for an SMG. In Warzone, I don't play as aggressive, and I'm not the strongest player on the team, so I tend to try and hang back a little bit and let the big dogs push in. I'm not against sniping, I've just never really done it. With that being said, I need a build that is going to do max damage mid to long range that will hopefully not slow me down when I need to book it out of a situation. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get her a good loadout with this one. So first things first for me, when I look for a gun, depending on the style that I want to play, whether it's run and gun like she mentioned, or hanging back and kind of giving some cover fire, the first thing I do is I look at my assault rifles. This is going to be the go-to for this, with a close second of the LMGs. But being that she's leading something with mobility, I'm going to lean towards the assault rifles and see which one of these is the best option. The way to do this is you're going to want to read this description here. I know it's there just for kind of a filler, but the descriptions are going to always give you the details you need to figure out which weapon is good for you. So right here, the XM4, full auto assault rifle, well-rounded with average accuracy, mobility, and power. So this could be a good candidate, but the damage for mid-long range, which is a big thing for her build, may not be there. So this is a possibility, but let's keep it moving. AK-74, full auto assault rifle, imposing firepower with high damage at mid to long range. So we've got that. That's already there. Balanced by a slower rate of fire and high recoil deviation. So there may not be much mobility, which we can work on with the attachments. However, balanced by a slower rate of fire, that may be an issue. So we'll keep the AK-74 as the #1 choice right now, but let's keep it moving. Full auto assault rifle, impressive accuracy and range with an above average rate of fire. So this could be a little bit better of an AK-74 just without the damage boost that the 74 has. We'll say this is choice #2. DPR, full auto assault rifle, excellent handling and mobility. Okay, this is one of her concerns. Moderate range, but on the lower end of assault rifle firepower. So we all know in Black Ops 6 there isn't many attachments that can boost damage output. So the GPR is great for accuracy, but we're gonna have to see how it compares right now to the AK-74. For some reason, I don't have the Model L unlocked, but it does say full auto assault rifle, slow firing and controllable with respectable damage. Slow mobility. I'm going to take this off the list because we already have two other options that seem better for what she's looking for, even though the damage is there. The mobility, we're going to push this one to the side. Goblin 2, semi-automatic assault rifle, good handling and high damage and impressive rate of fire, excels at shorts and mid ranges. We could probably boost the damage range of this one with some attachments with the barrel, but again, the 74 and the GPR kind of already have what we're looking for. Let's just keep it moving. AS-Val, full auto assault rifle, integrated suppressor, which is pretty cool. Like the fact that this has an integrated suppressor and very high rate of fire. Again, run and gun, high vertical recoil and small default magazine. Of course, obviously in Call of Duty, you do have ammunition magazine size attachments that can be changed for a close quarters build. The Krig C, full auto assault rifle, high damage and average handling. Recoil pattern starts very controllable before ramping up. I just got hands on this one the other day when the pass came out. I haven't done too much research on it, but I'm going to save that one for a different video. So out of the ones that we have, I'm looking at the AK-74 and the GPR. The AK-74 we're probably going to go with just because of the mid to long range with the high damage, and this is her main thing. With the mobility thing of her concern, she can always swap to her SMG or her pistol if she's playing overkill on the wild card. That way the SMG can give her that movement boost if she needs to, and we can keep it moving from there. So here we have a blank canvas of an AK-74. Looking at these details, which is very important down here, you kind of have a good idea of what the damage output is. And of course, every player has a 150 health. So with this one, it's probably going to take 5 damage of the headshots to kill somebody. Just do the basic math, it's all there. So looking at the fire rate and everything here, it's not bad. The damage is what she wants. She does want max damage on mid to high range gunfights. So let's see what we can do to kind of get the recoil there. That way she doesn't have to jerk around too much, and see how that pans out. Right now, I'm going to do a build without an optic because optic is very subjective. You can go through this whole list and find the one that you want. I'm typically one that goes with the Merlin Mini, but again, it's all subjective. So looking at the barrels here, I do have a personal favorite on this one. It is going to be the Game Twist. It does add more bullet velocity, which is kind of how quickly and how far the bullet will go before the damage drop off begins to happen, if I'm not mistaken. Long barrel doesn't really add too much. As you can see here on the right hand side, nothing inherently changes. Maybe the damage goes up a little bit because you do see that bump there. So for her build, the gain twist might be the best option. The reinforced adds the same metric that the gain twist does at 20%. The gain twist adds it at 40%. So that's almost half of what it is normally being boosted onto the bullet velocity. So the gain twist, and this may go across all ARs, might be the one you want if you're looking for long range interactions. Short barrel, that's going to boost your handling down here. And then the CHF barrel just ruins a lot. So we're not even going to talk about the CHF barrel. We're going to go with the gain twist here. So right now we're looking at the underbarrels. Now underbarrels are going to be for your accuracy, as you can see here. This game does a really good job of showcasing to you what attachment handles what. So if you were to go to the underbarrels like you are right here, this is the category it's going to hit because it's highlighted green. If you go to your stock, that's going to hit your mobility more than anything. And if you go to your rear grip, that's going to be your handling. So looking at the underbarrel, like I said, she wants the full range and trying to kind of keep it centered, keep it controlled. So this one here, typically the vertical foregrip can help with the horizontal recoil control. As you can see here, base, it starts at 19. Vertical foregrip lowers it to 13 degrees. So think of it this way: horizontal recoil control, 13 degrees. It's going to sway left and right, not too much. But if you don't have the vertical foregrip on, it's going to sway quite a bit because it is at 19 degrees per second. This brings it down to 13.3. So the vertical foregrip is going to be a great option for the mid to long range fights. Looking at the marksman, it does add to the accuracy, but you don't really see any type of numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I want to see the evidence, but I probably wouldn't go with the marksman for mid to long range. Precision does lower the horizontal recoil just by a little bit, 13%. It's not really too much, so I wouldn't typically recommend it. So far, the vertical foregrip's at 30%. Compared it to the 13% of the precision, not really my vibe. The Ranger foregrip does add some sprinting movement speed, but again, it's hard to make an AR build that's good for mid to long range. And you want mobility because, like I said, you can always just swap weapons to get out of the way as long as you're having mobility-based SMG. So again, this right here, if your focus is a mid to long range cover fire type interaction, I'm going with the foregrip all day. All day I'm going with the vertical foregrip. That's going to give you what you need to kind of stabilize the left and right recoil control, and it doesn't hinder your damage or your bullet range at all. Now here's where the mobility part can come into play, but we're not going to be looking at speed movement mobility. We're going to be looking at the ADS speed of this one. So typically with the rear grip, like I said down here, it's going to target the handling. It is tinted in green. You have your reload quickness, your empty reload quickness, your ADS speeds. It's going to be measured in milliseconds. Without anything, the aim down speed is 290 milliseconds, which is not terrible. It's not bad. I'm typically one to boost the ADS speed for sure. If I'm running, I need to flick to somebody. I need to make sure that my gun's already ADS by the time that I'm done flicking. So from 290 milliseconds to 210 milliseconds, the quick draw grip right now, because we haven't looked at the other ones, is looking really good. It's not hindering your recoil control. It's not hindering anything on this list. It's only boosting the ADS speed. The assault grip, again, this kind of goes with the AR versus running speed. This does increase the sprint to fire speed, but again, if you're running overkill and you need the sprint to fire, your SMG is probably going to have all the mobility perks to it. So I would just keep this for accurate mid to long range, like she said, and go from there. The commando grip. The commando grip can boost both. You had a pretty decent 14% increase, or decrease rather, in terms of milliseconds. This is a close second here. It really depends. If she wants that movement boost, we can maybe work with this one. The ergonomic grip is going to boost your ADS speed again by 17%, bringing it to 240 from that 290. The slide to fire speed, again, if you're running and bobbing and weaving, like, think of it this way: would you run an AR on Nuketown? If you say yes, this is a good choice, but if not, the quick draw grip is still, in my opinion, the best choice to go with. And the close quarter grip, this is an SMG's best friend, as you can see the metrics it has here. But again, we need to keep that vertical and mobility. But again, we need to keep that verticality and that recoil control in check, which again, none of these hinder. So any of these work, but because the ADS speed is so quick on this one and no other grip boosts the ADS speed like that one does, I would go with the quick draw grip. Personally, ADS speed is very important when it comes to ARs. And of course, we're going to test all this out in the firing range. Next, we have stock. So stock, this is your mobility. This is probably what she was talking about. And like I said earlier, a lot of these attachments don't negate anything on these guns. So this is where a lot of her movement's going to be coming from with the AK-74. The light stock, it gives you a 20% boost of movement speed and crouch movement speed. So if you want to crouch, if you're crouching corners and you don't want your footsteps to be heard, this is a #1 option for that. The infiltrator stock is only going to boost your aim walking movement speed. So I don't think this includes tactical sprint speed. I'll have to take a look and see and do some research on that. I don't really know anyone that's walking, so do with that what you will. The heavy stock seems to boost a little bit of accuracy. I'm not too sure if this is going to be important here because this is the movement category. I wouldn't touch this one. So the balanced stock does boost your movement speed 9%, 14% for crouch movement speed, and 8% aim walking movement speed. This is not bad at all. You're kind of giving a little bit of boost to a lot of different movement mechanics. Balanced stock is definitely a close option compared to the light stock. These on the light stock, the increases are just so big, it's hard to really think of any other one. And the combat stock is just aim walking movement speed. So I'm going light stock on this one, guys. There's no question about it. Like, look at all these boosts. This gun is going to be ridiculous. Fire mods. So looking here, fire rate is increased, but all of this gets dampened. And look at that. No one should be using rapid fire on any of their guns. Point blank period. It should never be used. There's no point to it. Let your gun shoot how it's supposed to shoot and you'll be happy. This is a stupid attachment. They should just get this out of the game. Overpressured 5.45 by 39 millimeter overpressured bullets does add more to the bullet velocity. So if we were to put this on, your bullet velocity is almost increased over half of already. So this is a very good option here. Recoil springs, you're lowering your bullet velocity with the recoil springs. You're barely getting much of an increase on your recoil gun kick and your recoil controls. Wouldn't recommend, because if this was maybe a 15% increase on each, probably cool. I would co-sign it, but 10%, that's nothing. I'd rather keep the bullet distance. 5-point FMJs, I don't think these do anything. These don't do anything. Really? Hold on. So if I were to go with, let me just turn this off. I'm actually discovering this live action. Yeah, so this is just, what is this, score streak damage? FMJs are just score streak damage, penetration damage, so shooting through walls. Not much of a benefit there. Again, I'm a numbers guy. I like seeing the evidence be right there in front of me. So I'm probably gonna go with the overpressured on this one, just because you keep that bullet velocity increase. And we're at 1200 meters, right? And at base, we were at about 800. So damage doesn't get increased too much. But again, with this bullet range and the drop off being 38 meters, that's when the damage starts dropping off. You're kind of in a really good position here. There's a lot happening on this build, and we're gonna test it out. Now, after doing the testing in that fire range session, we did see that this gun still has a lot of vertical recoil control, but not really a lot of horizontal control. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and take off the overpressured, because it was a small bullet velocity range. And the only real attachment that helps with vertical recoil is really going to be either the compensator or the ported compensator. So being that we're having a little bit of a recoil issue with this gun, I'm going to go with the ported compensator, and we're going to see how it goes. So with the ported compensator installed, this is the recoil we're looking at now, which is a lot better than it was before. So if we go ahead and do this, do the single bullet test, make sure the damage is still there. I guess I had to kill it first. 6 bullets still for the crack. 4 bullets for the kill. So the damage doesn't look like it really did too much of a hit. Let's see what about the bullet velocity, if that difference changes anything. 6 to break still, which is good. 4 to kill. We're looking at a pretty solid AK-74 build here. Recoil is pretty solid now with that ported compensator, so I'm going to be doing some more research if the ported compensator is needed on every AR. Probably the GPR won't need it, but I'm definitely going to do my studies on this one. Yeah, this AR is crazy right now. Again, I hope you like this build as well. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think we could have improved this one a little bit better? And if you have any other requests on what loadout you're looking for, if you're struggling finding a loadout, or you can join the Discord with the link in the description below. Anyway, I'm gonna work with this one a little bit more, and hope you all have a good rest of your night.